A queen with the purpose. Pray for my peace, but I'm moving the surface. They want the old me. She's retired.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Becoming the Best Me. I am Beverly. Welcome if you're stopping by for the first time, and welcome to those returning viewers. Today I'm going to be sharing with you and unboxing my medication. I get my medication from Mochi Health. They're a telehealth company, and they're who I choose to get my medication from. There's several choices out there. You just have to decide what works best for you. There is a membership fee, but for me, when I do the math for what I get and how I get my medication, the numbers work for me. So again, you have a choice and you do what is best for you. Let me introduce myself to those who might be new here. Again, I am Beverly. I started my weight loss journey January 26th of 2024. My highest weight was 245 pounds, and my lowest weight has been 159. My current weight is about 171, I think 0.2, I'm not sure. 171 point something was my last weight this week. Usually this is how I do my weight. I weigh before I take my injection, then I weigh 3 days after, and then 3 days after that, which is majority of the time for my next injection. So I don't weigh every day. There are times when I'm curious to see what the scale is saying, and I may jump on there, but I don't record it as a weight. I record in the 3-day increments. That is the weight that I will record. I've already unsealed the box. I've taken my name off the label so I don't disclose my personal information. Here's what's in the box. What do you get in the box? You have your instructions here, where to inject, how to fill your syringe, a bunch of instructions in here. You also get your syringes and your alcohol pad. And then the medication itself comes in this cooler. Out the way. Medication comes in this cooler, which I think is pretty neat. There's 3 ice packs inside to keep the medication cold. And the cool thing about them is you get a notification when the medication goes to the pharmacy. You get a notification when its process is complete, and then you get a notification when it's shipped, and then once it's delivered, you get a notification that it's been delivered. So you're informed that the medication is not sitting out. I live here in Florida, so it is hot. The other day I was driving, I looked at my thermostat in my car, and it said 101 degrees. These are the 3 ice packs. Keep the medication cool. Here is the medication, and it has the dispense by date. It tells you to refrigerate. It tells you what medication is in there. If you guys can see, that's the information on there. So this, what I'm getting, and what is different, because normally I would get tirzepatide with B3, but I decided to try something different because, as I shared in my last video, I talked about my body composition results, and I am going to be doing something different as far as body recomposition. I'm not only going to be focused on the number on the scale, the weight number. I'm going to be focused more on those internal numbers, because what I am right now is skinny fat. I've lost the weight, although I'm not to go weight, but I've lost a significant amount of weight, about maybe 60 something pounds. And when you look at my body composition numbers, my internal numbers, I would say that I'm skinny fat because my BMI is still high. My body fat percentage is still high. My visceral fat is still high. Those numbers that I shared with you in the last videos, I need to get them in the right range to really say that I am progressing, I'm getting healthy inside and out. Because the one thing I don't want to be is skinny fat. I don't want to per se be 150 pounds in a size 8 or a size 10. I'm still not healthy. That is not the goal for me. The goal for me is to become the best me that I can be. And that means to me being healthy inside and out. That is my goal. I say that to say I've now added NAD plus to my tirzepatide. I was on 13.5. I don't know the metrics, guys, and I'm not gonna get too techie here because I don't really know what the formulation is. I'm just sharing with you. All right, the phone cut out. I was telling you that previously I was on 13.5, but now my dosing has gone to 13.2 because I've added the NAD plus to my tirzepatide. I don't know the metrics and the formulation. I'm not going to attempt to even try to explain it, but that's the combination. The tirzepatide is 13.2 milligrams plus 50 mgs, and that is what that's the formulation, right? The prescription. All right, so enough of that. Everybody's different. Everybody's formulation is going to be different. Some people are choosing not to have any additives added to their GLP-1 medication. That's fine. For me, I decided to add it to my tirzepatide. For me, doing it that way, the numbers work for me, okay? Instead of having to purchase it separately. Anyway, that's that. And so before I added it, I had a discussion with my telehealth doctor through Mochi Health and talked about it, and he explained what it is and how it can help me and different things. He asked me different questions. What about this? What about that? He had my health records, and after our visit, he came to the conclusion that yes, I can add it. This is a perfect time for me to add my disclaimer here. Before you implement anything that I say here in this video or any of my other videos, I would ask you please to discuss it with your healthcare team, whoever your provider is. Have that discussion, and even after having that discussion, do your own research, do your own reading. As patients, we need to advocate for ourselves, and it is still our responsibility to make sure we have the information and we're asking the questions, okay? With that being said, what I found, I'm just going to share a little bit with you. What is NAD? NAD, and they have the full name. I am not going to even attempt to say it. NAD plus is a coenzyme that naturally presents in every cell in your body. So naturally we all carry NAD, but as we age and different things, happen within the body, like anything else, it decreases. NAD plays a key role in converting food into energy, supporting your mitochondrial function, which is your cell powerhouse, DNA repair, healthy aging, looking better at a certain age. I know for me, yeah, I love that. Cell signaling, brain and nerve function. It goes on to say, as we age, NAD levels naturally decline, which is one reason researchers are studying whether increasing NAD plus levels could support healthier aging. NAD plus itself is not well observed when taken orally, so this is why you typically find it in an IV infusion or through an injectable. Many compounding clinics are now offering it, which we all know that to be true. benefits of taking it alongside with your GLP-1 medication. Many of us, I know I do, I suffer from fatigue, especially with this new batch of medication, because throughout my journey, and I've been both on name brand and compound medication, and I haven't had fatigue to the magnitude that I'm having it now. This is one reason why I was looking into adding something to it, because like I said, I had already had B3 in my tirzepatide, but I didn't think that that was doing anything for me. So this is why I decided, okay, let me try the NAD plus to see. I have other things going on with me. You know, I'm 59 years old, so I am, you know, post-menopause, I guess, at this stage. And one of the other things that I'm into is HRT, hormone replacement therapy, because I think that could be another issue why I'm being so fatigued, because I'm not only suffering from fatigue, I'm suffering with sleep disturbance. It's one or the other. It's either I'm fatigued and I'm tired and I'm sleeping, or it's like I'm wide awake. You know, I will fall asleep for like an hour and then I'll wake up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and I can't go back to sleep. And I'm just wide awake. I'm on a vicious cycle here because, as we all know, sleep, it plays an important part in our health, especially being on GLP-1 medication and, you know, losing weight. Sleep is very important. I need to get that regulated. I can't be at one end of the spectrum and then at the other end of the spectrum. I got to find some sense of leveling here where I'm getting the right amount of sleep. I have an appointment coming up pretty soon to speak with my healthcare provider about the HRT treatment. I will come back and let you know about that. That's also in the works. I also take a B12 supplement. So I am trying all sorts of things, but it could be several things for me that's, you know, playing into that fatigue. Benefits of taking NAD plus alongside of your tirzepatide: it increases energy. As we know, one of the side effects from the GLP-1 medication that has been reported is fatigue. And one reason why we're fatigued, most of the time we're eating fewer calories, we're losing weight rapidly, and NAD in studies have shown to help and support in that area. Even though it's saying here that the studies are mixed, so it's not conclusive. All right. Better mitochondrial function. NAD plus is essential for mitochondria to efficiently produce energy, especially for people who are losing weight, exercising, and trying to preserve muscle. So that's another factor for me why I wanted to implement the NAD plus into my regimen. Other studies have shown and reports have shown, people are saying that it aids in quicker recovery, less muscle soreness, increase in exercise tolerance. Other reports are improvement in brain function. Another thing that some people are complaining about is get your words, Beverly. Brain fog. I know for me, yes, there are times when I'm working and I read the same paragraph like 3 or 4 times and it's like, what am I reading? And this could be an effect from menopause. Another reason why I'm investigating that path to see if implementing, again, HRT therapy would help me get a handle on that. There are times in your health journey that you're going to have to investigate several things to get the answer. I'm going to put out another video shortly about some other things that was going on with me that I had to do a whole series of testing. Sometimes you have to research different things before you get the answer. This is what's happening with me. Some people are claiming that NAD plus aids in mental clarity. It helps you to focus and it helps you to concentrate. That's another reason why I decided to let me implement this into my regimen to see if that can help me. Meanwhile, I'm still looking into the other things, like I said. Another thing is healthy aging. Researchers are still actively studying this, that adding E plus, it activates proteins called sirtuins, sirtuins, that are involved in cellular repair and longevity. Whether supplementation meaningfully slows aging in humans, it hasn't been fully proven as yet, but studies are still ongoing. I'm going to leave the video here for now. I may input at the end of the video if I see a difference in the body composition numbers. I'm going to include the injection. Besides my weight, I may include that at the end of this video. It is Saturday night and I usually take my injection a Sunday, but because I'm implementing a new substance, I think I'm going to go ahead and take it tonight so that I have a full day, which will be tomorrow, Sunday, where I can see what the effects, if there's any, effects or side effects, how my body responds or don't respond to the NAD plus being added to my regimen. Let me know what, if any, peptides you've added to your regimen, whether it be NAD plus, B6, B3, B12. So I'm going to take my injection tonight. I usually take my injection at night before I sleep. So I may do that tonight. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so when I upload a video, you will get the notification. There is a multitude of other ones. I'm also looking into glutathione. I think there's another one. While I was reading, it came up, tesamorelin. I've heard that mentioned. I really don't know what that is used for. I would have to go read about it. Let me know down in the comments where you are on your journey, if you've implemented any of these peptides into your regimen, and if so, how are they working for you? I decided to come back on and do my injection on camera. I'm deciding whether or not to change injection sites. So for the majority of my 2+ years, I have done my injection mainly in my abdominal area, but I'm noticing that everybody's talking about the arms. I have probably done the arms in my 2+ years, maybe 3 times. And I think if I can remember why I didn't do the arms is that I felt nothing. It's like I took a placebo. But I'm trying to remember if, I think it was name brand, the few times that I did the arms. I don't remember. I might have done maybe 1 time with the compound medication. I think I may have done 1 time with the compound medication. But like I said, it has not been my favorite place to take my injection. I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot because everybody seems to be talking about the arms. I'm going to give it a shot and see. All right, guys. So here goes. I already drew up my medication. You guys can see it. I already cleaned my arms. So, oops. Let me get a handle on it. There we go. I think maybe that's another reason why it's a difficult spot if you don't have anybody to help you. No blood, and it didn't hurt. I have heard some people say that it hurt. I don't remember it hurting, even when I did the name brand in the pen. I don't remember it hurting, but I have heard some people say that it hurt, but it didn't hurt. Some people say lay your hands on surface like this, but I find maybe this way is better. Anyway, we'll see. I'll let you guys know how I do this week. All right, that's it. Take care until we meet again.